In a small and peaceful village surrounded by the greenest of trees and the clearest of streams, there lived a young monk named Kavi. This young monk wasn't famous for heroic deeds or for having read countless books. Instead, Kavi was known for something quite unusual. His mind seemed to have its own legs, always running off to thoughts about events that had already passed or scenarios that hadn't happened yet. Kavi's thoughts were like little birds always flying away, hardly resting on the branch of the present. He would find himself sitting down for a meal but thinking about an argument he had the day before. Or he would be helping in the garden, while his mind tried to predict whether it would rain next week. On a sunny morning where the only sounds in the village were the chirping of birds and the whisper of the wind, Kavi made up his mind to seek help. He had heard about the wise old monk, Guru Bodhi, whose years had given him much knowledge and whose eyes sparkled with a gentle humor. It was said that Guru Bodhi could offer advice on almost anything. Walking through the village, Kavi watched the leaves fluttering in the gentle breeze and tried to calm his buzzing thoughts. He reached the old temple where Guru Bodhi spent most of his time in quiet contemplation. The temple was a place of serenity, with its stone walls that told stories of ages past and its old wooden doors that seemed to welcome everyone with open arms. "Guru Bodhi," Kavi called out gently, not wanting to disturb the peaceful silence that hugged the temple walls. The old monk looked up from a book, the lines on his face shifting into a warm smile. "Ah, Kavi, come sit with me. What troubles you, my boy?" Kavi sat down, folding his legs and resting his hands on his knees. "Master, how can I find peace? Just as a leaf dances on the wind, my mind flits from yesterday to tomorrow, never resting in today." Guru Bodhi gave a small laugh, a sound much like the tinkling of a bell. "Ah, young one, your mind is a playful monkey, isn't it? Swinging high and low on the branches of time, never settling. But heed this little nugget of wisdom. Let go of yesterday. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Simply be in the now." Kavi looked puzzled as he fiddled with the hem of his robe. He had hoped for a solution, a tool, or perhaps a strict practice to rein in his thoughts. "But how am I to do that, master?" The old monk's eyes crinkled with mirth as he leaned closer, speaking as if confiding a secret. "Imagine you have a pet, a mighty elephant. This elephant is not any ordinary creature. It's a symbol of your wandering mind. Now, should this elephant wish to tread the paths of past or future, you must steer it back with kindness to where you stand, in the now." This idea seemed strange to Kavi, to think of his mind as an elephant, but also intriguing. He smiled, his first true smile of the day, and promised to himself that he would try this peculiar method. As the days unfolded like the petals of a lotus to the sun, Kavi found that each time his mind started to skip away to another time, he would gently remind himself of the elephant. He imagined taking hold of the giant creature's trunk, ever so gently, and guiding it back to stand with him under the sun or the stars, in the exact moment they were in. One vibrant afternoon, while laughing and playing with the children of the village, Kavi suddenly realized that he was completely there with them. Each giggle, every little story, he was living it right then, not a piece of his mind trailing off behind him. Excitement bubbling within him like the village stream, Kavi ran as fast as his legs could carry him to find Guru Bodhi. "Master, it worked," he exclaimed, nearly out of breath. "My mind, it stayed with me, here, in the present." Guru Bodhi, sitting on his usual mat, smiled widely, his eyes reflecting his delight in Kavi's discovery. "Ah, the wonders of being truly where you are, Kavi. Life, my dear boy, is not unlike a banquet spread before us. Why worry about the meals you've eaten or the ones yet to be cooked? Relish the feast that is before you now. Taste the joy of the present." Listening to the old monk's words, Kavi felt a strength grow within him, the strength of living in the moment. He continued on his journey, each day a practice in patience and mindfulness, with an ever-present sense of humor, and the imagined guidance of his not-so-imaginary pet elephant. The village watched in amazement as Kavi's transformation became evident to all. The children he played with, the fellow monks he prayed with, even the birds that flew overhead seemed to take notice. Guru Bodhi's simple, wise words echoed through the hearts and minds of the villagers, and they too began to see the beauty in every moment given to them.